Dear friends, welcome to Know Thyself YouTube channel. Good morning. Hope you're all staying safe and keeping well. I sincerely thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel and follow the channel. If you find the contents of the videos uploaded in this channel useful, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification or the bell icon so that you can be notified when a video is uploaded. Kindly share the videos with others or on the internet. In the last episode of Know Your Mind segment, we spelt out a few signs or symptoms of unintegrated shadow and need for shadow integration. In this episode, we point out that shadow consciousness is the first step in the task of achieving shadow integration and wholeness of personality. Your shadow is part of your psyche. It has evolved through various stages of your development. As you put up psychological defenses to ensure that you do not express certain behaviors, letting them get repressed into your unconscious mind, and the accumulated suppressed material forming the contents of your shadow. When your shadow remains unconscious, it can wreck your life and bring havoc, as the repressed contents of your shadow function independently of your conscious awareness. For instance, an individual who is unconscious of himself acts in a blind and instinctive way, besides being fooled by illusions that arise, and sees everything he is not conscious of in himself coming to meet him from outside as projections upon his neighbor. Thus, your shadow has the power to override your conscious ego, take possession of your being, and exert control over your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When this happens, you are unconsciously driven into hard times. While remaining totally ignorant of these troubled periods in your life are unconsciously self-imposed and not due to bad luck or fate. As a matter of fact, the unconscious control your shadow exerts on you accounts for the self-destructive behaviors so many individuals struggle with and are unable to control, despite knowing that their life would be better off if they do not engage in these activities. For example, people caught up in addictions, whether drinking, smoking, taking drugs, or engaging in sex, are driven by their shadow, which accounts for the internal war which exists within them. Though at one moment they may say that they will give up their addictions and live a clean life, the next moment their shadow overrides their conscious ego and seeks out with full force a drink, a cigarette, a dose of drug, or sexual release. Similarly, relational skeletons repressed into shadow can also bring havoc on and wreck relationships. In these situations, you are caught up in an internal war within your mind between your conscious ego and unconscious shadow, the light world of consciousness, and the darker dimensions of the shadow. In this struggle, you are often overwhelmed by shadow, caught up in anxiety and feeling of guilt, thereby become a victim of shadow possession. You can avoid being the victim of shadow possession by becoming conscious of your shadow qualities and integrate them into your conscious personality. Being conscious of your shadow cannot be achieved without direct confrontation with your shadow. This confrontation calls for you exploring and acknowledging every aspect of your shadow, no matter how outrageous and unacceptable it may be. Hence, you must accept your shadow with open arms, not as detestable and abhorrent, but as necessary and vital part of your being. In order to achieve this goal, you must realize that your task in life is not to become perfect, but to become whole. For achieving wholeness of your personality entails the integration of both good and evil, light and darkness. Thus, only when you learn to assimilate your shadow into your conscious personality, you will achieve genuine wholeness as a person. If you refuse to acknowledge your shadow, you will never find freedom. However, this task of becoming shadow conscious and achieving wholeness by shadow integration is not easy but often extremely difficult, as it implies acknowledging your shadow qualities and accepting them into reality. Most people find it difficult to acknowledge their shadows and recognize that deep down they are not wholly virtuous, selfless, and good human beings, but they possess selfish, destructive, amoral, and immoral impulses and capacities. Instead, they would rather deceive themselves with a blind optimism about the goodness of their nature and remain fragmented individuals who are ignorant and not aware of their inner depths. Thus, meeting with yourself is first and foremost a meeting with your own shadow. Meeting with your shadow is often a tight passage, a narrow door, whose painful constrictions you will not be spared if you decide to go down to the deep well of your shadow. However, walking this path will bring greater balance in the mental landscape. It is even possible to channel these shadow energies into positive energies and bring them fully into the light where they belong. This process of internal work can lead to a tremendous increase in success and inner satisfaction. Therefore, walking through this narrow path of shadow consciousness is the first step towards freeing yourself from the clutches of shadow possession, being victimized by it, and step into the path of shadow integration, thereby achieving the wholeness of your personality. Though the process may be hard going and tortuous, the fruits are worth the challenge. In the next episode, we will begin elaborating on the process of shadow integration. Thank you for watching this video. Stay blessed until we see you again with another video.